Dan Blocker, born Bobby Dan Davis Blocker on December 10, 1928, in DeKalb, Texas, was a man whose life embodied strength, humility, loyalty, and quiet principle long before fame ever found him. Raised in the rugged Texas hills by parents who ran a small community store, he learned early the values of hard work, family, and decency, growing into a towering figure, 6 feet 4 inches and nearly 300 pounds, who was known as a gentle giant even in his youth. An accomplished student and athlete, Blocker attended the Texas Military Institute and Sul Ross State Teachers College, excelling academically, starring in football, earning a degree in English, and later a master's in dramatic arts. His sense of discipline deepened during his service as an infantry sergeant in the U.S. Army during the Korean War, an experience that shaped his worldview, reinforced his empathy for others, and solidified his belief in leadership, sacrifice, and respect. After returning home, he worked as a teacher before gradually finding his way into acting, landing small television roles in the late 1950s until his life changed forever in 1959 when he was cast as Eric Hoss Cartwright on Bonanza. The role made him a television icon and perfectly mirrored who he was off-screen: kind, moral, warm, and compassionate, turning Hoss into the emotional heart of one of the most successful series in television history. Appearing in 415 episodes over 14 seasons, Blocker stood out not for toughness or bravado, but for humanity, sincerity, and decency, earning deep admiration from fans and co-stars alike. Behind the scenes, he was regarded as the moral compass of the cast, deeply respected by Lauren Green and Michael Landon, and fiercely loyal to the show that gave him a platform. That loyalty also defined his personal life, particularly his enduring marriage to Dolphia Parker, whom he married in 1952, years before fame. Their relationship, rooted in shared values and quiet devotion, became one of Hollywood's most genuine love stories. While Dan worked long hours on set, Dolphia kept their home grounded, raising their 4 children, David, Dirk, Deborah, and Dana, with stability and strong moral values, ensuring fame never altered who Dan was at his core. Yet despite his famously gentle nature, Blocker harbored deep resentment toward one person more than any other, his Bonanza co-star Pernell Roberts. Their conflict wasn't driven by ego but by a fundamental clash of values. Roberts, an intellectual and outspoken critic, openly disparaged the show's scripts and direction, while Blocker believed in professionalism, gratitude, and unity. He found Roberts' constant criticism disrespectful to the cast and crew, once remarking that Roberts thought he was smarter than everyone else and often made working conditions tense by refusing to rehearse material he deemed beneath him. To Blocker, Bonanza wasn't shallow, it was meaningful, wholesome storytelling that brought goodness into people's homes. The philosophical divide between intellect and heart grew sharper over time, and when Roberts left the series in 1965, Blocker felt both relief and sadness, admitting he never wished Roberts harm but was glad the conflict ended. Though he never fully reconciled with him, Blocker later acknowledged Roberts' brilliance with weary respect, believing his bitterness overshadowed his talent. Tragically, on May 13, 1972, Dan Blocker's life was cut short at just 43 years old when he died from a pulmonary embolism following routine gallbladder surgery. His sudden death shocked the world, devastating his family, colleagues, and millions of fans. The loss left an irreplaceable void on Bonanza, deeply affecting cast members, especially Michael Landon and Lauren Green, who mourned not just a co-star, but a dear friend. In the end, Dan Blocker's legacy endured not through conflict, but through warmth, integrity, and humanity. A man who believed you didn't have to like everyone you worked with, but you owed them respect, a value he carried until his final days and one that continues to resonate decades later.